Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Victoria Skirbo, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I've decided to do this reading inside. I'm using my laptop, and when I use my laptop outside, it picks up a lot of the ambient noise, and people think I have like a fountain in the background or there's water. It's just noise, really. Sometimes wind, sometimes road noise. And my house is close to a major highway, so as lush as it looks, there is background noise that, of course, you live here long enough you don't hear after a while, but you, as somebody who doesn't live here, hears it. And of course the computer picks it up, so I thought this might be better. So hopefully the sound quality is better, if not the camera quality. This isn't the greatest camera in this computer, but it does well enough. Okay, so I did promise a number of readings. I've been very busy. Finally, I've somewhat recuperated from the 99th birthday party that we had. Always a challenge, and then life continues to go on, and all the challenges that life brings. So I'm doing my best, folks. I'm doing my best. So today I want to do a reading on, let's see, I had an idea in my head. I think I want to look into the Epstein affair a little bit more, and I want to ask about Maxwell. Is it Ghislaine Maxwell? What's coming up for her? Just a word about these types of readings with these types of energies. It's always something, isn't it? And you are dipping into something that is not necessarily high vibration, and so it's important, as I do this reading, that I surround myself with the light, and as you listen to this stuff. But the details, while interesting and important, especially to those people who are connected to the case, the victims in this case, and then, of course, all the people in the U.S. government that are responsible on some level for Epstein dying, whether it was suicide or murder or he's not dead, whatever that is. Those people, that's an interesting piece of the puzzle, right? But what we need to keep in mind is the big picture here. And the big picture is an uncovering of that which, the underside of power, the gross, disgusting, evil, I guess we could say, almost demonic underside of power. And, Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. We have been seeing that. We've been sort of navigating through that. It started with the collapse of the banks, and the problems, and it continues with large institutions such as universities, church, any place where people have power over other people. There is abuse of power, and we are getting an eyeful of abuse of power. And more important than the details, is this one, was he murdered, was he killed, is it this, is it that, is the larger picture that it's coming up to be healed. And we can get really caught up in the nitty-gritty details and conspiracy theories and such, but ultimately, on some level, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we see the pattern and we change it. That's what matters. That's what matters. Ghislaine, I already shuffled. Immediate environment for her. Okay, justice. Okay. So it looks as though she's being held accountable on some level, whether it be legally or cosmically, because the justice card is oftentimes more about cosmic justice than man's justice. But she is being held accountable at this point in her life. Let's see what's challenging that. Okay, the death card. Now, my first thought was this is the death of Epstein. I think while Epstein was alive, she was somewhat protected in that they would go after him before they would go after her. I mean, he was, after all, the focus of this, right? He was the initiating factor, right? The perpetration of the crime. But now that he's gone, people are looking for people to blame. People are looking for people to be held responsible, and so she is. Let's see what's at the bottom of this. Okay, the bottom of this is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is interesting. The fives in the tarot deck are found on the Tree of Life in a place called Gabura. And Gabura is the place of karma, instant karma actually. And this is really about being held responsible for your deeds and your actions, because the swords are actions. And you see this guy is on pretty shaky ground. He's standing on some swords. He's got swords in his hands. It's not going to end well. If he falls, he could fall on a sword. He certainly can cut himself. It's not a stable position. So she really is, you know that expression on pins and needles, but these needles are a lot bigger, and these pins are a lot bigger, and can induce a lot of harm to the person who's standing on them. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, we have the Six of Swords. So in the past, she moved away from the conflict. And she also did, it's interesting because this is a guy on a boat. She did a lot of work for the oceans, right? She had a whole, she's got a TED Talk, and there's a whole working for the benefit of the oceans. It's interesting how these people have, you know, they're not all just evil, right? They have two sides. Perhaps that's how she, on some level, felt she could make up for what she's done. I don't know. I don't know the woman. Okay, let's see what's in the sky for her. Okay, we have the Emperor in the sky. The Emperor, to a certain extent, is law. It's the rule. It's the rules. It's the powers. So there's somebody powerful above her. Now, whether that person is here to hold her accountable for what she did, or whether they're there to support her, I don't know. We'll see what's in the immediate future. Let's see the immediate future for Ghislaine. And I don't think that's how you say name, so sorry about that. Yeah, the Devil. Okay. So that's interesting because, of course, the Devil is power over dynamic. And there is a powerful man, I think, above her. And the question still is he there to protect her, or is he there to take her down? And I would say he's there to protect himself, and he'll utilize her in whatever way he needs to, and whatever that means. So let's continue. How it's seen from the outside. Judgment, yeah. So she's, you know, people are saying, well, she's being held responsible for what she's done. Domestic situation. The Ace of Wands. Okay, so this is new beginnings, endings and new beginnings, actually, for her. Now, that does not necessarily mean it's a good thing, although the Ace of Wands is generally a pretty positive card. A new thing could be like jail, right? So, but there is so she's ending one period of her life and beginning another period of her life. So let's continue and see how this is going to work out. Hopes and fears. Okay, the King of Swords. Again, the King of Swords is more of a human law, right? Human law and order. So I would say that that's a fear that she'll be held accountable legally. Let's see the outcome for her. Okay, so she's coming down. She has the Tower. Her life as she knows it is over. The Tower is coming down. All of that, everything that. So she's done for. Quite frankly, she's done for. All right, let's see what's underneath. We have the Three of Cups. And I'll tell you this: I've always sort of felt that her and Epstein loved each other. I always felt that. I felt that he protected her while he was alive, while he could, as best as he could, even though it was very dysfunctional and very sort of evil. There was as much as people who can do this kind of thing to children, they can still love. They, they tend to attract people like themselves. So, and then also under that is the celebration of the girls. Okay, the celebration that something will be. Okay, I want to know. Let me use a different deck. Besides her, is there anyone else that's going to be held accountable? I'm going to use a different deck. Oops. Sort of have these all piled up on my computer. I'm going to use just the Rider-Waite because it's the one I have on top. Is there anyone that she is going to implicate? Because I saw that powerful man above her. And it very well might be that he just lets her fry. There are other powerful men here. And I say men because it was the emperor. She gave Epstein the connections. He was who he was, but she connected him to the rich and powerful because she was the daughter of a billionaire. But he was a scam artist too. So there's all these scam artists. There's all this like playing this game and sort of feeding on people. I mean, you can see it in Epstein's situation. You can see it in Trump's situation. I mean, he has been feeding on people his whole career. Back in the 70s and 80s, just taking people to the cleaners and using them like fodder. It wasn't cannon fodder like other people use people, but just making people's lives and destroying lives indiscriminately to be rich and lose it anyway. So it's kind of a disgusting thing. Okay, let's see. Who is this powerful man that I see? You have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. All right. So this is the immediate environment. So some emotional connection. Her father is dead. This looks like her father, actually. Okay, past, the devil, the moon in the sky. So hidden things, lunacy, heartbreak. I don't know if I'm going to get the answer. How it's seen from the outside. I don't know if she was ever married. The marriage card, that's why I ask. Domestic situation, the Temperance, Angel of Healing, hopes and fears, the Tower, the Queen of Wands. That's the outcome. I'm just looking to see if I can pull a major arcana, the High Priestess. Does she have any connections to the Mercers? The Mercers. I think she had connections to the Mercers, but I think they cut her out. They cut her. She was abandoned by them. Who is this man I see? This powerful man pulling her strings. Sorrow. Eight of Pentacles. The Page of Swords. This person is very much in the shadows. I don't know if we're gonna know. I'm not getting anybody. So I apologize for going down that rabbit hole. But she's done for, quite frankly. She is done for. The tower's going to come down on her. All right, well, it's icky stuff. White light, white light, white light, white light. Let's take a white light bath, folks. All right, I'll be back with a couple more readings today. Have a great day. Bye.